Harer Nama, Harer Nama eva kevalam, Kalo nasteva, 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 gatiranyata.
Hare Krishna to everyone. Dandavat Pranam to all Vaishnavis and Vaishnavas here. Thank you so much, Gopi Manohar Prabhu, my dear brother, who is giving me such a demon, like he is glorifying very nice devotee, but I feel I'm still demon. And yeah, Prabhu is confirmed. Yeah, so thank you so much to engage me in this service, and I hope it's for my own purification. I'm taking this service, and whatever is Krishna is will be very kind and merciful. Maybe whatever knowledge I got, all these years, I will be able to share with you. Hare Krishna. So today is a Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter 25. The verse is 41. We are going to read Sanskrit and the translation. Yeah, and it is fourth day of Kartik. So I'm very blessed to do this seva. The first day, I know in India it started yesterday, but in Dubai we are starting from today. So we are taking the verse now. Before let me read the verse, allow me please to pray to my Guru Maharaj, to all Guru Parampara, Shri Gauranitai, to Krishna Balaram Radhashyam. Umagyan Timrandasyan, Kyanam Java Shalakara, Takshun Militam Yana Tasman, Shri Gurave Namaha. What is the second one? I forgot. Shri Chaitanya Manubhishtam, yeah, this prayer to be offered to Rupa Goswami. Shri Chaitanya Manubhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Satiswa. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Tapadakam Shri Guru Vaishnavaksham Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savabhutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Vitam Shri Vishakam Panchatatvakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Svurupakam Bhakta Rupa Param Bhakta Vyamnam Shatmika. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Panchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyaya Vacha Putita Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthana Bhutale Shrimate.
ये उनकी वाइफ देख लो.
Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthana Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami. Please Rasvara. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nanyatra Mad Bhagavata Pradhana Purusheshvarat Atmanah Sarvabhutanam Bhayam Tibram Nivartate. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The terrible fear of birth and death can never be forsaken by anyone who resorts to any shelter other than myself. For I am the Almighty Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the original source of all creation, and also the Supreme Soul of all souls. So in this verse, Krishna, Kapila Dev Muni, is telling to Devahuti that no one can be escaped the cycle of the birth and death. And everyone is in fear of this cycle of the birth and death. And no one can be free from the cycle of this birth and death unless if he will take shelter of me. So here's a Kapila Dev, Kapila Muni. He is saying, unless if someone will take a shelter of me. And here he is confirming, I am Almighty Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the original source of all creation, and also the Supreme Soul of all souls. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada, he writes, it's a quite big purport, but it's such a wonderful purport. He writes that no one can stop this cycle of the birth and death unless if he become a pure devotee of the Lord. What means to become a pure devotee of the Lord? To become a pure devotee of the Lord, that you are completely taking the shelter from Supreme Lord. You are completely confident and you are assured that Supreme Lord, He is Almighty Lord, to whom I can surrender. And what means surrender? Surrender means I have a trust. I have a full trust who will give me shelter. So if you take the simple examples in our life, how Krishna arranged everything so perfectly, we sometimes even don't think, we are taking like as like it's normal thing, as a granted sometimes. So to take a shelter, like I was thinking that we take a shelter from our parents, when the child is small and so helpless, he knows that his parents are there, his father and mother is there, who can protect him, and this is why he has no fear. He is fearless and brave. Like I saw one video with, sometimes in I think it is in South Africa, there is a tour when they're taking those tourists and they're going through the jungle and they're riding them, and to show them elephants or giraffe, there's the wild forest and the wild jungles. So they were sitting in the car and somebody was taking this video. So the baby elephant, he was like, maybe someone of you seen that, with the big ears, he was like coming towards these people, so brave, so strong. And the people who are sitting in the car, of course, there is understanding. He's a baby elephant, but he acts like he's so strong. He's very wild. Because behind him is a full family of his elephants. Because behind him there is a shelter. There is a mother who is there to always to protect him, to always save him. So that feeling is in every living entity. So Krishna arranged that every living entity in this even material creation, this material world, needs a shelter. The person or living entity becomes fearless. He has no fear when there is a shelter. When he take his refuge in the shelter. So shelter can be as a home for the husband. When husband come from difficult work, then he has to face all the challenges outside, when he has to sometimes fight, sometimes to protect himself from the sharks, who is always ready to attack you. So he comes home, that is his shelter, and the shelter is his family, shelter is his wife, wonderful wife, who is like very loving, who is giving him so much love and like peace of the mind, where he can take a rest, when he can be released, when he is not so much tensed, when he is like, not so much nervous, he can just come and relax at home. Shelter for the citizens, when it's the right government, where he can be really relying on the government. Of course, now in Kali Yuga, it is difficult to find such a government who are really taking care of all living entities, forget about the human beings, yeah. So as usually Prabhupada is saying, if you are giving shelter, like in the time of Vedic time, Yudhishthira Maharaj, such a great Rajarshi, they used to give shelter and they used to give protection to all living entities in his kingdom. But in Kali Yuga, we can expect this. That's why people always in the stress. That is why there is a fear. There is so much fear in people when they feel like I'm unprotected. All the time I have to fight for my existence. I have to somehow survive in this world, in this dangerous world. And Prabhupada all the time he is giving us reminder, like every step in the material world, it is a danger. Yeah, padam padam vipadam. And because we are in such illusion, we forget, and still we are trying to somehow to be established in this world, to to feel like like to self gratify. But this is all illusion. How much we're trying to satisfy our senses, it never will be satisfied. And that's why we feel very like disturbed. We feel very disturbed because we are not getting that shelter where we can get real happiness, real love, real peace. And real peace is an unconditional life. Means it's not conditional life, it's unconditional. Means it's a spiritual life, it's a spiritual consciousness. That is a real shelter. So Prabhupada writes so beautiful here that one cannot surpass the cycle of birth and death unless one is favored by the Supreme Personality of God. That is such a wonderful statement, Srila Prabhupada saying, unless if you become a devotee, yeah, unless you become a devotee, like he's saying before this sentence, you cannot, unless you will be favored by the Supreme Personality of God, you cannot surpass the cycle of birth and death. And that fear for the eternal soul, that fear is always there, that one day I'm going to die. And automatically there is impulse in us, and we don't even sometimes think, yeah, it says spontaneous impulse for that fear that, I don't want to die, but I have to die. And we are trying to escape this topic. Yes, if you take people who are not practicing devotional service, who are not on the spiritual path, who are not a devotees, who are materialist people, they're always trying to not speak about that. It's not a pleasant topic, right? To speak about that, because no one wants to die. And in one lecture, Srila Prabhupada he's saying Bhava Asmi. The lecture he was given in 1973 in April 27 in Los Angeles. He was saying, once you become, then you will be vanished. This is law of nature. Means who is born, like Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, who is born certainly will die. Yeah. So this is how the arrangement by Krishna, that no one will stay here permanently, and one day a living entity going through all so many million lifetimes, he will have that understanding, again, is by understanding given by the mercy of Supreme Lord Krishna, that what I'm doing in this material world, it's a ashashvatam, it's a temporary, and life is so short, and even satisfying and getting some sense gratification, still I'm so unhappy. Why I'm so unhappy? Because for the eternal soul, for the eternal soul, this is a suffering. When he thinks that one day he has to leave everything what he has in this world, in this lifetime, my husband, my children, my house, etc., bank account, and I have to go. I have to live. And this is a fear of every living entity. Okay, forget of the human beings, but also for the insects and beasts, yeah, all other creatures, aquatic creatures, yeah, everyone is fearing. Everyone is fearing, and automatically there is instinct of self-protection, of self-defense. Like sometimes I observe, like a light comes inside of the house, and as a devotees we are trying to not kill. What we do, my mom and me, it's funny. She taught us to catch the fly, throw him out of the window. So you can see how much you're trying to chase the fly, to catch him. Immediately he wants to escape, yeah, or she. It wants to escape that fear that I don't want to die. So he is trying to fly away, and that when he got when we get the fly into the hand, of course there is a fear, oh, I'm going to die. So this is what I was thinking. So I'm back again to the topic. Real shelter. Krishna himself said in Bhagavad Gita, he is giving different keys how we can obtain the shelter of him. And he is saying the shelter is only can be myself. Then you will be fearless. Then you will not, he's saying, Masuchaha, yeah, Masuchaha. Do not fear. I will take care of everything. I will take care of your even sinful reactions. You do not fear anything. You just surrender them to me. So every one of us, we know this is famous verse in Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, where Krishna is saying, yeah, Sarva Dharma Parityaja, Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, Aham Tvam Sarva Papibhyo, Mokshayamyama Sucha, Ma Sucha. Do not fear anything. And he is given the key how we can obtain that real shelter of him. To become a devotee means you have to surrender. Still, I feel like if I observe myself and I'm all the time thinking I'm not surrendering to Krishna. I'm still thinking I'm a doer. I'm still thinking that everything is like what I do. It's I'm doing, correct? But the devotee of the Lord, the pure devotee of the Lord, every step in his life, he always rely on the mercy of the Lord. Of course, we can plan. We have so many plans, yeah. But still, the devotee's consciousness, I always rely on the mercy of the Lord. It's how Lord will decide, how Lord will shower His mercy unto me. So let it be like this. Like we all seen the beautiful movie about the Narasimha, Lord Narasimha and Prahlad Maharaj. There is a beautiful scene which is like really touched my heart, and I was feeling, yes, this is the qualities of the pure devotee. He becomes fearlessness, fearless. He doesn't fear anything because he has a real shelter of Supreme Lord who will always protect him, who will be always there as a well-wisher, as a closest friend, as a mother and father, as everything. So that beautiful scene where the Prahlad, he finally, after so many tortures of his father, demon Hiranyakashipu, he got a darshan. Yeah, he's saying, Prabhu, mujhe darshan dijiye, mujhe darshan dijiye, and then he cries. And the Lord appears in front of him and he gives him darshan. And after that, his feelings, like he has already such a beautiful qualities of the devotee, of pure devotee, which is full of compassion, yeah, full of love. The essence of to become fearless, it's a love. Yeah, it is compassion. So the qualities of the pure devotee are so wonderful. They showed so beautifully the qualities of Prahlad Maharaj. And after seeing the darshan of the Lord, he was like flying. Yeah, he seen Lord everywhere. He seen Lord in the air. He seen Lord in the trees. He seen Lord in every living entity. And his love was more increasing, and ecstasy more increasing and increasing. And out of this ecstasy, he was in bliss. So the pure devotees, if we see the pure devotees, they are always in bliss, and this fear of the birth and death will not touch him. He will not be fearful. Yeah. So Srila Prabhupada, he is there is one beautiful post given by Srila Prabhupada lecture in Mayapur, October 3rd, 1974. He is saying we should not be disturbed by the dangers of this material world. So he is personally teaching us how to become fearless and how to be above all these dangers. Is by his Prabhupada, against his mentioning only pure devotee, yeah, he can surpass the cycle of birth and death. Means only pure devotee can, surpass that fear of conditional life, that fear of the death. Yeah. So Prabhupada personally, by his personal example, he is teaching that pure devotee never get disturbed by the dangers of this material world. If we are actually Krishna conscious, like Prahlad Maharaj, he was a Krishna conscious, yeah, we should face the danger and depend on Krishna. Abhashya Rakhive Krishna Vishvasa Palana Sharanagati. This is called surrender, that I may be in danger, but Krishna, I have surrendered to Krishna. He must save me. Keep this faith. Prabhupada said, keep this faith. Don't be disturbed when you are in danger, because this world is such. Padam padam vipadam. Every step there is a danger. Just like we are walking on the street, immediately there is some pinprick, thorn, and by pinprick of that thorn, it may become a boil. It may become dangerous. So even by walking on the street, by talking on the street, by eating our food, like Raj Prabhu, he told me this, when the flight to Dubai, I don't know, this Air India, yeah, got the crash, yeah, in the building. People used to eat. Did they know that next second they are going to die? No one. So every step is there danger, but we are still not realizing, we are still not taking this life so seriously. And yeah, like Prabhupada is writing here, not even eating our food, there is a danger. And in English it is said there is many dangers between the cup and the lip. So you should always remember that this material world is simply full of dangers. And Srila Prabhupada's disciples, when they remember different stories with Srila Prabhupada, they usually write some meditation, yeah, below that story, below that lila. They write, Prabhupada, you are so kind. You yourself was fearless, and you was teaching us how to become fearless. And you was all the time reminding us that this world is full of danger. So then Prabhupada, let's continue, that Kunti will say that Vimochita means release from the danger. Aham Sahat Maja. So this is a study of Krishna, that if you become Krishna conscious, a sincere servant of Krishna, don't be agitated by the dangerous condition of this material world. You simply depend on Krishna and he will save you. Yeah, if we will take another verse of Bhagavad Gita before this verse of Sarvadharma Paritaja. He's giving the key again, how to become a devotee. This is very important point, because Prabhupada is emphasizing here that once you become devotee, you become not disturbed with all these dangers. You will take the real shelter of Shri Krishna, like Krishna is saying in this verse, to any shelter other than myself, for I am Almighty Lord. So devotee has that understanding. There is no other shelter than Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is only one shelter where I can be really feel like safe and peaceful, who really can protect me. Yeah. So devotees are always favored by Supreme Lord. Yeah. So and that was where Krishna is saying, Mat Bhakta, Mat Yaji, Mam Namaskuru, Mam Vaishyasi Satyam Te, Pratijane Priyosime. You become my Bhakta. You offer obeisances to me. Yeah, Mat Bhakta, Mam Yaja. You worship to me. Mam Vaishyasi Satyam. And like this, you become my Priya. If you become my Priya, there's nothing to fear. I just will tell one story. I recently heard a beautiful class by Srila Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj. He's a Russian Maharaj. Very, 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 very profound and deeply. He will go and dig in details everything. So there was class about remembering of Srila Prabhupada pastimes by his disciples. So there is one story in 1969 in America, and there was very famous TV, you say not reporter, but TV presenter. That guy, he was actually not so old. He was around 44 years, and actually he was, well known in the world of media, in the radio stations and TV. And he was well known as an aggressive attacker of his, what you call the people whom he invited to take an interview. It's the name is, this is a very new word for me in English. It's called interlocutor. So he used to always defeat his interlocutor, and he used to get a pleasure from it, because he was very straightforward. And he used to say that if interlocutor cannot, you cannot answer to me, you better you go and rinse your mouth or rinse your throat with the razor. This is how he used to say, and he was very arrogant. So he invited, his name was Joe Pine. So he invited Srila Prabhupada for the interviews. All devotees, they got kind of scared, Prabhupada, he's like this, he's very aggressive. He said, it doesn't matter. Unless if all people will hear about Krishna, this is what is our agenda, then we are successful. So Srila Prabhupada, he went for that radio show, this aggressive Joe Pine. And there was interesting interview. So he was thinking that Joe Pine was thinking that he will defeat Prabhupada. So he asked the first question. He said, why did you come here to America? What you can give to us, this very challenging. What can you give? We have already everything. We have our own God. We have our own religion. Why did you come here? This question he was asking. And what was the answer? I forgot. There's more important thing. Okay, I will come to them. Maybe I will remember now. And the second question is saying, in your cosmology, you're thinking that you're stating that the earth is a flat. So Prabhupada didn't have any like time, and he didn't want to waste his time for the explanation, this sphere and that sphere and this galactic universes and etc. Yeah, this all knowledge. So he said, yeah, like whenever I go and walk, the earth is flat. So that guy Joe Pine he was completely, he was like almost like he didn't know what to answer, you know. And the next, until he was coming to his consciousness, he had the assistant. So that assistant asked him, Srila Prabhupada, he asked, why do you shave your head? You know? Then Prabhupada's answer was immediately, he said, why do you shave your legs? You know, it's better to keep your legs warm and head cool. So that lady also was like, you know, she didn't know what to answer. And finally, this Joe Pine, he came to his senses, and then he said, okay, let me ask this like a bomb question to him. Maybe, you know, I will defeat my interlocutor. And he asked the question about Kali Yuga memory. He asked the question, if everyone will start become saints like you, if everyone will start practicing Krishna consciousness, what will happen to the world? Prabhupada's immediate answer was, you don't worry about the world. There is some people who will be foolish people like you, who will not accept the Krishna consciousness. So the guy was finished. So the Prabhupada disciple, his name is Badrinarayan Swami, he said that Joe Pine, he was finished. He didn't know what to answer. He was like completely like, you know, khalas, khatam. You know? And till he was coming to his senses, Prabhupada has 10 minutes full of the, you know, attention. So in these 10 minutes, Prabhupada spoke. So all the disciples who were like listening this, they were all like so joyful, so happy that Prabhupada, he defeated Joe Pine. And when Prabhupada arrived to the temple, like all devotees were like, Tribo, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. So Prabhupada saying, please try, do not imitate me, because I have a special privilege. That it's belong only to the old people and the children. The old people and children can talk whatever they want and whenever they want. So please don't imitate me. So and there is a meditation, Badrinarayan Swami saying, yes, Prabhupada, we are trying to imitate you, but we are not realizing that we are just superficially taking that form, you know, we are accepting that form, you know, to be fearless, like you are showing by your own example. But the essence of this fearlessness is a love. The essence is a compassion. So if we again go back to this cartoon of Prahlad Maharaj, yes, that love, that compassion, defeat all his classmates, the demons, right? You know, the demon mentality, as we know, as a Prabhupada, from the Prabhupada books, and we can see in the demon mentality just for the Sanskritification. And demon mentality, everyone should take shelter of me, I'm a Bhagavan. Like Hiranyakashipu, no? After fighting, like, you know, there is a scene which Braja Prabhu was telling me. This is my favorite scene, when he is growing about the sphere, like he's becoming big. Hey, Bhagavan, hey, you know, and he's like this growing so high and showing that everyone is, you know, so fearful of him. Everyone is like, he's like, imagine everyone is offering him all reverence. And then there is like, he's just small, such a small on the palm of the Lord Vishnu. Actually, this is our demon mentality. We think we are we are so big, we are proud of it. That in material world, of course, the surviving this material world is the main ingredient is of our existence is the false ego. And for the devotees, there is an aim how I can transform my false ego to the real ego, how I can become humble, how I can take a shelter, how I can surrender to Supreme Lord Krishna and say that I'm Anu, I'm so small, I'm so insignificant, and you're the Guru, you're Supreme Lord, you're all powerful, you're great. Like Muslims, they're saying Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Rahman Rahim. You're very great. Allah Akbar. Allah is very great. But not realizing how great He is because there is no knowledge. There's so much ignorance. Ignorance is do not take a shelter. And ignorance is do not surrender to supreme authority. Ignorance, it's all ignorance. But by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, our Guru Maharaj's mercy, by all Acharya's mercy, and come to Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Nityananda, come up more to Shri Shri Radheshyams, how merciful they are to give us this knowledge through the Vyasadeva, to surpass this knowledge to us, who is so fallen, who is so insignificant, who are so sinful, and who is born in Kali Yuga. To understand this knowledge of the existence of Supreme Personality of Godhead and what is the aim of my human life. The aim of my life is surrender. My aim is the bhakti. To fill my life is the bhakti, with devotional service. So, as we know, Krishna saying in Bhagavad Gita that without devotional service, you cannot understand me. You cannot understand me. Only through the devotional service, you will be able, through the bhakti, you will be able to understand. And if we have that understanding, then we will be able to take a shelter of His lotus feet. And then we will be able to surrender unto Him completely. There is no fear. Like I will take there is another story of Srila Prabhupada when they were walking a morning walk in Chicago. There is one, the park was called Lecho Park. So disciples, all tall, big disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they used to walk behind him. And Srila Prabhupada is so short and so fragile body, look, so small. And he has that cane, so, and suddenly some very big and mad dog came out and started running directly towards the Srila Prabhupada. So this disciple, again, this remembrance of Badrinarayan Swami, he's saying that all of us will just got stuck to the ground. We didn't know what to do out of the fear. Some of them hidden behind the car, 3 of them hidden behind the car. 2 of them hidden behind the Brahmananda, because Brahmananda, disciple of Srila Prabhupada, was so huge and big. And everyone is looking, what is going to happen now? What's going to happen now? That mad dog, that insane dog was running towards the Prabhupada. And everyone got struck, frightened by that fear. And they didn't know what to do. They were just looking, like they were looking what's going to be happen now. Srila Prabhupada was so cool, he just had some chadar on his shoulder. He just corrected the chadar, and Badrinarayan Swami is saying it's like Krishna, who is going to now, before to fight with the demon. He was so calm and cool. So Srila Prabhupada raised his cane and he said, so that dog, he got frightened with that Prabhupada gesture, and Prabhupada Prabhupada came and he's powerful, full of Shakti, the sound pumped. So the dog was like, kept his tail between legs and goes here and he ran away. So everyone was observing this scene, such a small, tiny, fragile body Prabhupada, but how much of power. Where this power comes from, because Prabhupada, as we know, is Nitya Siddha, he is an eternal associate or servant of Sri Krishna, that firm faith and firm shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. He was fearless, So this is a quality of the pure devotee. Like I mentioned about Prahlad Maharaj, quality of the pure devotee who is so fearless. Why? He has the shelter of Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna is there at every step. So then these disciples, they got courage. And they will continue walking. And there is another dog came out. And because they got this experience with Srila Prabhupada, the disciples, all of them, in unison, like we say, unison, all together, they said, "Pump." But instead of dog being scared, the dog got more angry. So the Prabhupada, he looked at them and he laughed. He said, "This is a not so easy matter. This is a science." This is a science. And again, below there is a meditation with Badrinarayan Swami. Yes, Prabhupada, you was telling right that this is a science. Science to be Krishna conscious. Science to be, like we read before, to be free of all dangers. This is a science. It's not so easy to attain this level of to be fearless. And if like Bhaktivedanta Goswami, then we are fearful of everything in this material creation. We are fearful to be rejected. We all the time want to establish ourselves in society. He said in the family also, there is like husband to establish himself and prove himself in front of his family, his wife, and wife saying the husband. So there is all the time, there is a fear, and the fear is so deep in our subconscious. It's so difficult to take out from our heart and from our full body existence, because we are still so conditioned. We are still thinking, I'm this body. We are still thinking, it's not easy to understand. We realize through the Vedic scriptures, we understand that I'm a soul, I'm an eternal soul. So what to fear? Why should I fear the death? Why should I have a fear? That because we are not surrendering to Krishna. That because we are not taking the supreme shelter of Shri Krishna. I think there is a time it's going to be finished. I just mentioned the one Leela. All of us know the beautiful Leela from the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto. There is a Krishna book, as Prabhupada writes, in the very summary kind. All the pastimes. Then the gopis, again I will come back to the point, the fearlessness comes from the law. The essence is the law. So the gopis, they had so much unconditional love for Shri Krishna. Even at that night, they were not scared to go through the jungles, on the sound of his Venu, to go and to find Krishna, to run towards the Krishna at middle night, not fearing anything. So that force of love will move us to become fearless. That means you should have such a firm faith and such a great love, in our heart. When we have that love, then we overcome all fear. Then we will be For me, it's like not enough words to explain in English. No, this will be like you don't care for anything. When the love inside of your heart, you're not caring of your prestige, whoever was saying about you something, and the position and the status in the society. You won't care for anything because you have a love for the Krishna. You above of all these mundane topics, mundane things, you above of all this, you're flying inside. There's sometimes, I think there is a saying, some like Turkish people saying the butterflies, or American people saying butterflies in the stomach. It's like there is butterflies inside of you. You're just flying. So same with the gopis, they did not think of anything. And when they arrived at the place where Krishna said, "Go back." This forest is full of danger. There's so many wild animals here. It's so like it's not safe here. But they did not care. They just wanted to see Krishna. Even forehand of the form of Lord Vishnu, where he was hiding, doesn't attract them. It's only Krishna's form is attracting them. So there is a science, like Prabhupada said, there is a science how to come to that stage of bhakti, prema bhakti. So as a sadhakas, we have to go through all these principles of devotional life. We have to follow the rules and regulations. And Srila Prabhupada saying, without following the rules and regulations, or rules and regulations, we cannot do devotional service. Our ultimate goal is to do unconditional devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And again, doing the devotional service to Supreme Personality of Godhead, you should take a shelter of the spiritual master. Without the taking shelter of the spiritual master, again, we cannot do devotional service. We cannot come back to Krishna. Because it's only by the guidance of the bona fide spiritual master, Shri Guru, we will be able to come to the stage of this Prema Bhakti by the mercy of Shri Guru, by the mercy of Shri Krishna. Right? It is said, the mercy of Shri Krishna, you will find your bona fide Guru. By the bona fide Guru, you will see the Krishna. So it is interconnected. So this is a point which I wanted to mention. Of course, I didn't cover this beautiful purport where Prabhupada said that not by any mystic yoga practice, not by the speculation. These people are less intelligent people, Prabhupada saying, and he is taking this verse of Bahunam Janmane Ante Jnanavam Mam Prapadinte. After many, many births, one who is actually advanced in intelligence surrender unto Supreme Lord. After many, many births, one can surrender to Supreme Lord, who is very intelligent. It's very intelligent. But those people who are bereft of the intelligence, they will not surrender to Supreme Lord. So here is the Prabhupada mentioned in his purport. Those people will not surrender. And they will, again, even there will achieve the Brahman. They will try to say, like, let me merge into this Supreme Lord, to the light. They have to come back again to this material existence because they are not doing devotional service. They are not taking the shelter. They are not surrendered to Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's why they have to again come back to this material world and again have the miseries and again they live the life of the miserable life. It can be any animal, insect, whatever, 8 lakhs, 400 species of lives. Again, you have to go through all this. So why do we need to waste the time when there is such a chance for us by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya? that in this lifetime we can surpass the cycle of the birth and death, obtain this perfection and devotional service under guidance of the bona fide spiritual master, to put our efforts, to chant the holy name of Krishna, always remember Krishna, and forever cut this knot, the material existence of this samsara. Hare Krishna. And on it, I think let me finish. And Hare Krishna. Is there any other questions or comments, or someone wants to add something?